Alright, so before we move on to the second law of thermodynamics, we will tackle about the Joule-Thomson effect first. Okay, so what is the Joule-Thomson effect? So it is the phenomenon of producing the lowering of temperature when a gas is made to expand adiabatically from a region of high pressure into a region of low pressure. So kindly take your focus on this figure here. Okay, so if this is a piston and a cylinder, there are two piston and cylinders here. This part, this first part, and ito sa second part na to. And they are separated with a porous layer. That means they still have contact with each other. Okay, so if this part has P1 and V1, okay, and we allow it to expand it to the other side by um, pushing the piston here, okay, by pressure 1. So, ibig sabihin, this P1, V1 here will become P2, V2, and it will expand. Okay, so what is the Joule-Thomson effect is trying to explain here? Okay, so we will delve into that after this explanation first. So, isa-isahin muna natin ang mga nandito sa ating figure. Okay? So, sa part na ito, sa P1 here, okay, if we calculate for the work that is applied to it, so of course, that is just, work is negative P expansion delta V. Your delta V is V2 minus V1, right? So if you are to expand or if you are to contract this and apply work, okay, yung final volume mo dito is will become 0, di ba? Kasi ipupush mo yan hanggang dito sa part na to. And your initial volume is V1. So if you are to substitute that into our formula for work, negative P extension times delta V, or negative P1, that will be P1, times the quantity V2 minus V1. Ang V2 natin is 0, kasi magiging 0 yan. Kasi mag-move siya from this part to this part, diba? So, malapit yan. So, if you can just imagine a syringe, kapag ka itulak nyo yung syringe hanggang sa maging 0 siya. So, that is the part here na pwede nyo i-imagine dyan. So, we can derive for the work here part that is equal to P1 V1. So, it makes sense since we apply work, so that is positive, diba? So, positive P1 V1. So how about this side? So if we are to calculate that, or to derive the work here, so P extension times delta V. So if you are to push this part ito sa P1, if you are to push it here, since this is a porous layer, mag-expand ito. Okay? So if you are to calculate the work done, or work done by the system here, okay, so negative P2, yung initial volume natin is 0, diba? So from here, okay, so from this part to that part, that is V2. So final volume V2 minus 0. So the work here is negative P2 times V2. Again, it makes sense since P2, or since this is expanding, okay, so the work is done by the system. Okay, so the work is coming out of the system. So that is negative. So negative P1 V1. Okay, so as an analysis, if you are to apply the first law of thermodynamics here, so delta U is equal to Q plus W. Okay, but since this is expanding adiabatically, okay, so we are to assume that no heat is transferred from the system to the surroundings or vice versa. Okay, so our Q is 0. Okay, since walang nadagdag at walang napuntang heat to the system. So, Q is equal to 0. So, that's why delta U is just equal to your work. Okay? So, ano yung work natin? Dalawa yung work natin dito. So, if you are to expand delta U, that is U2 minus U1, okay, is equal to yung work natin dito sa dito part. Okay? So, negative P2 V2 plus P1 V1 since this is positive. Okay. So if we are to separate the variables with, sa dito is 2 and dito is 1. Okay? Anong napapansin nyo dito? Dito, ito yung formulang to, that is just your enthalpy. Diba? And this is also your enthalpy. And H2 is equal to H1. So this is an explanation that the enthalpy does not change since, okay, that is expanding adiabatically. Okay? So if you are to expand adiabatically and we prove that delta H is equal to 0 or delta H is, constant, okay? So H2 is equal to H1. So this is what we call isenthalpic condition. Isenthalpic, ibig sabihin, constant enthalpy. Alright? So, moving on to the part where there is heating and cooling. Okay? So this Joule-Thomson effect, it only applies to real gases. Hindi siya nag-a-apply sa ideal gases. Why? Okay? So we already established that this condition here, particular condition here, is working adiabatically. That means, wala tayong dinagdag na work, wala din naman tayong nakuhang work. Bakit? Or, hindi work, heat, I should say. So, walang napuntang heat sa system, wala din naman tayong nilabas na heat from the system. So, why is there cooling? Okay? Sa ideal gases, according to the KMP, the molecular attraction or intermolecular forces of attraction of the molecules are neglected, right? Dito sa ating real gases, that's why Joule-Thomson effect, it applies on real gases because we are to anticipate the effect of the intermolecular forces of attraction. So if the potential energy of the molecules is to be converted into the kinetic energy of the molecule, okay, thus the expansion, okay, it creates a heating effect or cooling effect depending on the circumstance. So if your P2 times your V2 is lower, okay, and your U2, your internal energy 2, is greater than internal energy 1, the cooling, the heating effect occurs. So, parang nag-a-apply ito sa part if this is greater. So, sa part na to, pagka mas mataas ito, kaysa dito sa part na to. Diba? So, that there is heating. Dito naman, there is cooling when P1, V1 is lowered. Okay, so your U2 is less than U1. So, ito yung mataas naman na part. So, depending on the direction of kung saan nag-expand. Okay? Kung dito tayo nag-expand sa P2, V2, that is heating effect. If here, we have expanded from this P1, okay, that is cooling effect. Okay? So, how do we quantify the heating and cooling effect? So, meron tayong another variable, which is your mu, mu, and then subscript JT. Ibig sabihin yan, this is Joule-Thomson, di ba? But we call this Joule-Thomson coefficient. Joule-Thomson coefficient. Okay? So your Joule-Thomson coefficient, it describes how effective a gas is at cooling down when allowed to expand under a particular set of conditions. So, dito sa part na ito. Okay? So, this is described by the definition of the Joule-Thomson coefficient itself. So, how much temperature is lowered at change in pressure at constant enthalpy. Diba? So, meron tayong nakikita dito, delta T over delta P or dt at constant enthalpy. So, how much temperature has been changed when you lower the pressure at constant enthalpy? Yan. Okay? So, if we are to derive the formula for that, so dP, Joule-Thomson coefficient times dP, so we arrive for the formula for the Joule-Thomson effect. This is Joule-Thomson coefficient times delta P is equal to delta T. Okay? So, yan yun. That is your Joule-Thomson effect. Okay? So, to better understand the Joule-Thomson effect, we'll have this one example. Okay? So, determine the temperature if methane at 50 degrees Celsius of 0.5 MPa or megapascal is allowed to expand in a porous membrane to a final pressure of 0.1 MPa. So, first, we write the given. Meron tayong temperature, 50 degrees. We convert it to absolute unit, Kelvin. 323.15 Kelvin. P1 and P2 given sa atin. Ang tinatanong, ano daw ang magiging temperature when we allow it to expand from 0.5 MPa to 0.1 MPa. Okay? Okay, so bababain natin ang pressure. So, mag-expand siya. So, is it cooling or heating? So, that's the question. Diba? So, we allow it to expand. So, we might think of the heating effect, right? Okay, but let's prove it if that is heating or cooling. Okay, so we write the formula for the Joule-Thomson effect here. Okay, and then tingnan natin kung alin yung mga given. So we have Joule-Thomson coefficient, wala tayo niyan. P2, P1, meron tayo. T2, wala. Yun ang hinahanap. T1, meron naman. Okay, so where do we find the Joule-Thomson coefficient? So meron siya sa table 2-233. This is specific for methane. Okay. So, tingnan nyo yung Paris Handbook 8 edition table 2-2334, the thermodynamic properties of methane. Meron tayong makikitang part dun na Joule-Thomson coefficient. That is in terms of Kelvin over MPa. Okay. So, tingnan niyo. Okay. So, isa pa nating titingnan if the temperature and pressure given to us is at saturated temperature of that or superheated. Kung saturated or at dew point, okay, at boiling point, diretso natin titingnan yan. Okay, pero kung superheated, we will be performing a double interpolation. Okay, so sa part na ito, magiging double interpolation tayo. Okay, kasi superheated. And then, ayan, so malalaman nyo kung bakit superheated. Okay, so at pressure 1, 0.5 MPa. Okay. So, tingnan natin kung may 0.5 MPa ba dito. Okay, so, dito, meron tayong 0.49.64. At, yan. So, pressure, kita natin dito yung pressure. Meron tayong 0.49 and 0.64. So, pwede tayong mag-interpolate na 0.5. Pero bago natin gamitin yan, titingnan natin kung saturated temperature ba. Okay? So, ang given sa atin is 50 degrees Celsius or 323, 15.15 Kelvin. So, we must know if this temperature is greater or less than the saturated temperature. Okay? Kung greater than the saturated temperature, that ibig sabihin that is superheated. What is saturated temperature? So, it is the temperature where both liquid and vapor coexist. Okay? So, merong, for example, yung water natin at 1 atm and 100 degrees Celsius, meron tayong vapor at liquid at the same time. Diba? So, ganun ang saturated temperature. So, it differs from substance to substance. So, that is for water. Pero ang methane natin, okay, titingnan natin. Okay? So, at 0.5 MPa, yung T saturated natin, if you are to interpolate, that is between 135, 140. Pero ang given sa atin is 323. So, T1 is greater than your T saturated temperature. So, ibig sabihin that is superheated. So, we cannot use the value for the Joule-Thomson coefficient dito sa part, dun sa naunang part kasi this is the liquid part. Liquid part yan. Kung titingnan nyo yung table ninyo, yung naunang part that is liquid, yung nasa baba is vapor, yung nasa pinakababa pa is your superheated. Okay. So, titingnan natin yung part ng superheat. Okay, so dito, if you are scroll down further sa baba, still table 2-223, okay, we find the single phase properties. So, ibig sabihin ng single phase properties, that is superheated. So, that is only vapor na talagang superheated, okay? So, we find for the temperature and pressure na 323, di ba? Pressure P1 at T1 323.15 Kelvin. Okay? So, meron tayong dalawang nakikita dito. So, ano yung pagkakaiba? Dito, this is your pressure, di ba? This is your temperature, and this is your Joule-Thomson coefficient dito sa part na to. Ikita nyo naman yan sa Paris ninyo. Ito yung Joule-Thomson natin. Ang required sa atin is find for the UJT, okay, at P1 0.5 MPa and P2 323.15 Kelvin. Ang problema natin dito sa superheated, wala tayong 0.5. Diba? So, meron sa atin is 0.1 and 1 MPa. So, ano gagawin natin? Siyempre, mag-interpolate tayo. So, first na kukunin natin is dito sa part na to, at 0.1 MPa, what will be the UJT at 323.15 Kelvin. Diba? So, kukunin natin yan using interpolation. Pag nakuha nyo yan, meron tayong UJT at 0.1 MPa. Okay? And then, next naman dito, kunin din natin yung UJT niya. UJT at 1 MPa. Okay? So, meron tayong UJT na dalawa at meron tayong dalawang pressure. Okay? Mag-interpolate tayo para makuha natin yung 0.5 MPa. So, if you are to do that, kukuha natin yung UJT, which is 3.8179. Okay? So, if you need further assistance dito sa double interpolation, you just approach me sa faculty office. Okay? Mahirap kasing explain without kung hindi face-to-face. So, ipapakita ko sa calculator ko later on. So, for now, kung masundan yung sinabi ko kanina, you will be able to derive for the value of your new JT, which is 3.8179. So, yan na yung gagamitin natin sa formula na ito. Okay? Meron na tayong UJT, T2 and T1. T2 ang hinahanap, T1 meron na tayo. So, you just substitute and then you can get T2, which is equal to 321.623 Kelvin, or that is in terms of temperature, which is 48.473 degrees Celsius. Okay. So, anong nangyari? So, bumaba yung temperatures, so there was cooling. So, ibig sabihin, yung U2, or U2 is less than U1. Okay? If you are to, so hindi lang siya, kumbaga, reliant on where it has expanded. So, mali tayo dun. It was my theory. Pero you must be reliant on the value of your U1 and U2. And ano yung U1 and U2 natin? It is dependent on the work. Okay? Kung given tayo ng work ng dalawang condition na yon, we will know where is the higher one and the lower one. So, kung makikita natin yon, if U2 is greater than U1, there is cooling effect. If, okay, let's see. Kapag U2 is less than U1, there is cooling effect. So, dito sa part na to, we have achieved a cooling effect. Okay. So, I hope you understood this part. Okay. So, thank you for listening.